Directors of private schools in Kakamega have vowed to continue with the competency-based curriculum CBC by embracing international curriculums if government scraps off CBC. This comes days after outcry from a section of leaders and parents urging the government to do away with the curriculum that has left many parents poorer. Speaking during closing day Come Fun Day event at the Applegate Christian School in Kakamega, the private school directors led by director of the school Evelyn Tiani said CBC is the solution to unemployment and job creation in the country, vowing to embrace the international curriculum than going back to 844.
It is a solution to employment because we in Kenya, we are an agricultural country. And so being an agricultural country, agriculture is green gold. So as we are bringing up skills and knowledge about agriculture, we are believing that every learner who comes out of CBC will be able to now bring out, love agriculture and do something with the plots they have at home. We won't have as many pikipikis as we have, because after Form 4, many youths don't know what to do with themselves. But here we have kids doing art, weaving, making belts, there's a lot cooking. So we are believing that when they come out of school, they'll have a variety of things.
I see children coming up with a lot of skills. Skills are embraced here. And also the art, performing arts. We see, like, when you look at a school like Applegate, they are the best school nationally when it comes to performing arts. So this means that this school embrace CBC fully and the learners enjoy.
Through 844, and as a person, I don't feel like I utilize all the information that I learned while I did 844. But with CBC, you have hands-on knowledge, you have practical knowledge, and it's very engaging for the learners and as well as the parents.
According to them, there is need for a child to grow wholesomely, and CBC is the best option, urging the committee formed by the president to look into the well-being of younger ones first as they make their recommendation.
You know, when a child is growing, we as parents, we should ensure that the child grows holistically in all aspects. And when you go back to the 844, the 844 was really on the development of cognitive, where the children were just taught things concerning the mind, the knowledge. But here, children are taught about practical work. So I want just to encourage my parents to switch off their mind to the CBC, because here children are really getting a lot of skills. They are going to be very creative. So when it comes to seeking job, they'll not be job seekers, but they'll be job creators, whereby the child who is going to observe what is done in the agriculture, because here they are doing practically. Most of our learners, they have never been to the shamba, but right now they can show you what is supposed to be done.
There's a time that we went to try and plant something, and in fact they're the ones who are instructing me on how to do it properly. So that can only come from being in a good school and having the practical knowledge being put directly into you, so they are able now to come and transfer it too.
This comes as education stakeholders are already pointing out grey areas in the competency-based curriculum they want to be addressed even before President William Ruto picks a task force to collect views from Kenyans before making recommendations.
We have decided that if this is scraped off and we are supposed to go back to 844, we will not go back to 844. We choose now to embrace international curriculum, which is more like CBC.
Now, since CBC has a lot of practicals, as my fellow parent has said, and a lot of hands-on, you know, so this child is able to learn whatever they require. So if they, by the time they are through with school, these children should be ready for the job market. They don't really have to wait to be employed, because they can have something to do with the skills they learned in school.
While some teachers' unions, parents and church want the proposed junior secondary school to be hosted in primary schools, education experts are asking for caution. Stakeholders also want the government to clarify cost to be borne by parents and the burden that will be shouldered by the government. They also want a clear funding roadmap for the CBC. They also want a clear funding roadmap for the CBC, complete with the clear transition guidelines ahead of the major shift from 844 to the 2663 education system. During his swearing-in ceremony, President Ruto said he had noted that there is a robust discussion on CBC and pledged that after the task force concludes its work, a decision will be made before the impending transition of the first group of the new system.